We're proud to represent Tori Maris in her campaign for Secretary of State. We worked hard and filed a writ of mandamus a month ago to get her on the ballot, and all that involved was properly counting the signatures. And now we are filing another writ of mandamus so that she can participate in this election, as is her right, and maybe even more important, the electors who are supporting her, the voters who are supporting her. It's their right to both observe the counting of the ballots and to inspect any mechanisms or methods that are used in counting those ballots. So it's very simple. Ohio law allows candidates to observe the counting of the ballots. And we do believe that when the counting is taking place in a black box, you cannot observe the counting. And the second thing Ohio law requires is inspection of the counting process. And we believe if you are using machines that you should be able to inspect those machines fully. That means the software, the hardware, the code, the functioning of those machines. You know, our Secretary of State recently said that there is a crisis of confidence in our election. Well, he's been Secretary of State for several terms now, and the crisis of confidence in our elections needs to end, and Tori is attempting to do that. And it really can end very simply. Make sure that candidates and voters can inspect and observe the process. And ultimately, the answer is really very simple. We need to get back to the way we used to do it. Hand-counted paper ballots. That way you don't need to spend billions of dollars on election security. You don't need to spend or worry about Chinese coming into our computer systems in the United States. We can trust our own American people to count and process the ballots. John Fleiter and I have been on both of these cases. John, would you have anything to say?
Sure. Yeah, like Warner said, it's an honor to be here. It's been an honor to work on this case. We believe that this is a case that's needed to be filed for a very long time. The question today is, what does the observer law mean, and does it mean anything at all? And if we're going to have observers, shouldn't they be allowed to observe the count, observe the voting? Something else that's pretty cool about this case is it's funded by supporters of Tori Maris. So for the people watching this that have donated to Tori, this is where your money is going. This is a real lawsuit. This is a lawsuit that was filed in the Supreme Court. It has the potential to make a real difference. Your dollars actually are going to work in the courthouse fighting for your rights. So we appreciate that. We appreciate Tori, and we appreciate all the people that support her. Thank you.
And if anybody would like to have us answer any questions, please let us know.
Would the observers for the election, they have to be in every precinct? Or are we going in, or would you have people going in to look at the machines before the election?
Well, at all parts of the stage, all parts of the process have to be observable and inspectable. So that doesn't just end the day those votes are cast. It can go on for several days after that. So, we need to have faith in what's going on at our voting places. I mean, obviously there's this easy answer, hand-counted paper ballots. But if we're not going to have that, then we certainly need to have access to the code, the machines, and the processes that are happening in those machines, as well as whatever paper that there is. I mean, some of the machines in Ohio, unfortunately, are still what are called DRE machines, which are just a digital register of somebody's preference. And they spit out a little tape, so it's not the optical scan ballot. So we're concerned about those types of machines as well. Yeah. She is on the ballot, and it is interesting. We learned today that some of the major media outlets, such as IdeaStream in Cleveland, failed to list her as a candidate. That is horrendous, and it's very discriminatory against independent candidates. So they need to fix that right now. Well, she is on the ballot. When you go to vote, she is going to be on that ballot. You will see Tori Maris on your ballot. So you will get a chance to vote for her. The point is, because we had to fight to get her on the ballot in the first place, some of these big media entities don't even recognize that there's an independent candidate running. She's the only independent candidate running statewide here, and that's a very important fact. She ought to be front and center in all the media because she's the only independent candidate. So she's had to fight very hard to get to where she is, and she's keeping on fighting. I know that. To answer your question, do you want to ask the question?
Yeah, start over again. You're going to ask the question. Because this is going to be amendment.
Going forward with this case, what is the expected turnaround time from the Supreme Court to be able to give you guys an answer on this?
This case is what's called an expedited elections case. So their answer is due Friday, our brief is due Monday, and their brief is due Wednesday. And if we want to reply, we need to get that in probably by next Thursday. So we expect the court to rule very quickly, conceivably as soon as the end of next week. I think that's what I wanted to add.